Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Tech with Martins. So in this channel, we'll be talking about cloud database administration. We'll be talking also about on-premise database administration. We'll be having to look at general computing and troubleshooting. We'll be looking at cloud computing as well, like the cloud computing services provided by AWS, Azure, and GCP. And I'll also be giving you some tips on tech career, how to advance your career in IT. We're giving you a lot of question and answers in the IT certifications like AWS certifications, Azure certifications. Okay, yeah. So who am I? My name is Martin. I'm a database cloud support engineer working with Amazon Web Services, and so I decided to start making this video to contribute to community building, like to at least give you a bit of what I have learned or what I have, and this is going to at least encourage others to get to IT and to also facilitate your troubleshooting process. Okay, to add a bit more about my professional journey. So professionally, I have AWS certified AI practitioner. I have AS certified cloud practitioner. I have the AWS certified solutions architect associate, and also have an award that's been given to me by Amazon Web Services for a job well done. That's a rising star. Okay, you can always get to me in LinkedIn. I'm always active in LinkedIn, and so you can have that. My LinkedIn is Martin Telen LMK. Okay, yeah, back to our video for today, guys. So today we'll be looking at cloud database administration. With a trend in database administration in cloud computing, sorry, many companies are moving to the cloud. That's true, and most database administrators right now, or most companies are opting to get cloud database administrators, like database administrators who have an idea on on-premises database administration as well as cloud database administration, right? Because some companies right now they're moving to hybrid cloud, like part of their resources being hosted in their on-premises and part of those resources hosted in the cloud, right? So our first series, in the first series of this video, we'll be talking about cloud database administration. Specifically, we'll be talking about the cloud database administration services provided to us by Amazon Web Services. Okay, so today we're looking at introduction to RDS. That's a relational database service. What is RDS? Amazon RDS is a relational database service that is being provided by Amazon Web Services. Okay, like with RDS as a cloud database administrator, you're able to manage all your RDS, that's relational databases. Okay, you're able to manage and deploy these relational database services without any problem. Okay, so in as far as you're a database administrator, 90% of your time you will be spending with the Amazon RDS console, because all the services as far as database is concerned is in RDS. Okay, so just to add, I will be moving to the Amazon RDS console to show you a bit, like to give you an overview of how the RDS console is, and to give you some give you like an explanation of how it is, and also give you example of databases that are, or engines that are being supported by the Amazon RDS service. Okay, so here is my AWS management console. Okay, I am hoping that at least people know how to create an AWS account and log in. Okay, so when you log into your AWS account, This is the home page, like the console home that you have. Okay, so let's say you are a cloud database administrator, and you're like, okay, what services do I need to, what do I need to do? So you just need to go search your RDS. Okay, and most you can always like add it to your favorite, because yeah, I just add it to my favorite, then I will now open the Aurora and RDS. Okay, now at first it was just RDS, but now it is both Aurora and RDS, because Aurora is like a proprietary cloud database that is being owned by Amazon Web Services. Okay, so I'll hit on that. Yeah, so this is my RDS console, right? This is where I'll be doing all my database administration tasks as far as cloud computing is concerned, as far as cloud database administration is concerned, right? So the very first thing I will check, or I will say, is my dashboard, right? With a dashboard, you're able to see like an overview, like a summary of all the RDS services, all the RDS instances that you have in this in your specific region. Okay, like you're able to see a resume, like you can see number of instances, the number of clusters, the number of reserved instances. Just with this dashboard, you can already have an overview of what is happening with your RDS console, right? Okay, then the next section is the database section. This database section, you can create a database. Okay, you can create a database, or you can restore from the S3, which is a storage service provided by AWS. Okay, and with these, you can also manage your database. When I say manage, meaning you can access your database, like maybe having to see its configuration, see its parameters, and so on and so forth, right? All right, so we also have the query editor. What is the query editor? The query editor is like a database client tool, actually not for connection, but it's already connected to the database, and it enables you to like to run um, to run queries in your database, right? It enables you to run queries in your database, and but these the databases that are being supported is exclusively the Aurora, right? Other RDS instances do not support that. It's exclusively the Aurora, and not just the Aurora, but the serverless Aurora, right? And you need to enable the data API. So just to say, with like if you have an RDS instance that is a serverless, that is an Aurora serverless, you can, instead of maybe connecting to that database, maybe using the PG admin or the the PG SQL, you can simply just use the query editor, and you are able to run queries in that database without any problem, guys. I said specifically when you have an Aurora serverless database, and the data API should be enabled. Okay. Moving to the next most important is the performance insight, right? Performance insight here is a monitoring tool, it's a database monitoring tool that is being provided by Amazon Web Services that you can use to monitor the performance of your RDS instance. You'll be able to track wait times, you'll be able to track commit latency, you'll be able to track a lot, you'll be able to track everything as far as database is concerned. You can even monitor and track query performance, right? See queries that are long running queries, queries that are consuming a lot of CPUs, that have a lot of weight, right? Yeah, you can track all of that using performance insight. Just to add, guys, by November, like there is a note, like by November, performance insights will no longer be within the RDS console. It will now be with database insight. Okay, remember, it will now be database insight in the CloudWatch. So those are updates that you can easily have. And yeah, so moving forward, we have snapshots, right? Snapshots, these are like backups that you can take, taking backups of your instance, right? Take backup of your instance, maybe for disaster recovery purposes, right? So you can take manual snapshots, like you may just want to take a snapshot of your RDS instance, and maybe for disaster recovery purposes. Then you have system snapshots. These ones are being taken automatically by RDS, okay, for point in time recovery and disaster recovery purposes. Then you have snapshots that are being shared with you. If you have two, maybe you have an AWS organization and you share some snapshots, it will appear in this tab. Then you have published snapshots. You have also the backup service. Backup service, this is a new AWS service that helps you to kind of program or kind of make or like kind of enables you to have like a backup maintenance plan. Like you may want to have an exclusive backup maintenance plan for your RDS instances within like a certain period, a certain range, and yeah, you can use the backup service, but you cannot. This is just to show you. This is not a service. This is not where the service is located, but the service is a backup service on its own, right? You can just search AWS backup. um yeah, it's a service on its own, but the API the API actions is being triggered at the backup service, but this the the backups are being stored in your RDS instance under the backup service. Okay, then you have the export in Amazon S3. This is a snapshot that you actually exported to Amazon S3, right? Then moving down, you have the export to Amazon S3. Like this is now specific to those tabs. You also have automated backups. Automated backups are being taken by the RDS instance itself. As I said, like during the creation of your RDS instance, you may want an automated backup to be created, and RDS, yeah, will take this automated backup for you, so you can always find them here. You also have replicated and retained backups are the ones that you've deleted your RDS instance, but you want to retain it maybe for 1 or 2 or 3 months or a certain retention period. Then you have a reserve instances. Reserve instances, these are actually not instances, but they are like a discount that is being applied to an on-demand RDS instance that is being running in your account. Okay, like um if you may want you may specifically want a particular instance, maybe T23 micro, whatsoever type of RDS instance you may be wanting, and you know that this RDS instance you're going to run that RDS instance maybe for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I mean, why not go for a reserve instance first? With reserve instance, you know that capacity is reserved for you. You always have this capacity available, and you're going to have a percentage like 75 up to sometimes 90%, depending on the type of instance that you go for. Okay, you can always go for reserve instances, like to preserve capacity for discount purposes. Yeah, and we have the RDS proxy. RDS proxy is like a middleman between your application and the RDS instance, right? It helps in high availability and disaster recovery, performance, it boosts performance, and most importantly, it is so critical for connection pooling. Connection pooling here because RDS instances, some RDS instances have maximum number of database connection that it can actually concurrently receive at a particular time, right? But with an RDS proxy, if you have thousands of connections being pushed to your database, RDS proxy will pull those connections and send those connections to your database like in an orderly manner, and will avoid your database from going out of memory, right? So RDS proxy is very important for like the applications that have a huge database connections, and you need to manage this, and maybe at the application level database connection pooling is not properly managed. You can easily use RDS proxy to manage that, to avoid database OOM, right? Then we have the subnet group, right? In the subnet group, why do we need a subnet and why do we need a subnet group? Now, when creating your RDS instance, you will need a subnet, and you will need a subnet group. Why is it a group? Why do we need two? Why do we need three? Right? It is for high availability purposes, because RDS provides you with high availability. When I say provides you high availability, meaning if you have your RDS instance created in US East 1A, let's say US East 1A, and that availability zone US East 1A goes down, like there is a disaster in that US East 1A, And at that moment, if your RDS instance is in US is 1A, Amazon RDS will not be able to maintain your database. Why? Because you had just one subnet. Is that okay? That is the reason why AWS gives you opportunity to create a subnet group where you'll be able to bring in 2 or 3 or 4 subnets in different availability zones that are going to host your RDS instance. So much so that in case there is a problem with with one availability zone, the RDS will automatically provide you with high availability by failing over that RDS instance to another availability zone that you selected. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Then we have parameter groups. Okay. Parameter groups is the section that helps you to like determine parameters that control the whole functionality of the database of the RDS instance, right? If you want to set maximum number of connections, you want to set query timeouts, you want to set any parameter that concerns your particular instance, you will use the parameter group. Okay. And there are 2 types of parameter group. You have the default parameter group. These are default parameter groups already contain default parameters that RDS has already prepared for you. Like by default, it has certain parameters. You cannot modify a default parameter uh, parameter group. Okay, you can modify. So if you want to change maybe your query timeout, you want to maintain your maximum number of connections, you want to do it, customize it, then you need to create a custom parameter group and you now attach it to your RDS instance. Is okay? Then we have option groups. Option groups are also like additional parameters or additional options for your RDS instance. Is okay? There's also like you also have um, custom engine versions. Custom engine version. This section helps you to like create custom engine versions like for your RDS instance. This is exclusive for RDS instance for Oracle and RDS instance for SQL Server. And now with this, with the custom engine version, like this is a separate service that AWS provide. We call it RDS custom, where RDS gives you like 70% control of the underlying EC2 instance. Like maybe for compliance purposes, some people or some enterprises may want that the application they are hosting should be, or maybe for compliance purposes, the app or the application server must be, or the application must be within the database server. And now if you're using the SQL server or using Oracle, you can go for RDS custom, where you will have access to the operating system, you have access to the underlying EC2 instance. Okay, because how is this different from the normal RDS? This RDS custom is totally different from normal RDS because with with RDS, like with simply RDS, you do not have access to the EC2 instance, you do not have access to the host, you don't have access to the operating system. RDS manages everything, but with RDS custom, you have access, like a certain degree of access, maybe 70% of control over the operating system. You can do the patching, you can do the updates, you can install an application in the EC2 instance that is hosting your application, your RDS instance. Hope that's okay. All right. So as I said, this is specifically for 2 database engines. That's a RDS for SQL Server Custom and RDS for Oracle Custom. All right, then we have zero ETL. Zero ETL is for streaming. Like if you want to stream data from your RDS instance to a data warehouse, could be Redshift, could be any data warehouse. Okay, then you use this zero ETL. Yeah, the last one is events. Events are like activities that happened within your RDS instance, and yeah, maybe it could be a backup, maybe it could be failover, maybe it could be a maintenance operation that's happening. The events will be loaded here. And you have event subscription. This is very important as far as database is concerned. Database administrators, cloud database administrators concerned, guys. with with the event subscription, you can subscribe to your RDS instance. You can subscribe to an event in your RDS instance so much so that you're notified whenever that particular event occurs. What do I mean? Let's say maybe um you've activated automated backups, you've activated auto minor version upgrades in your RDS instance, but you need to be notified when these particular actions occur. What happened? You just need to go to event subscription, you create an event and you subscribe, maybe using an SNS topic, okay? And you'll send notification to your email, and you'll be notified when that specific event occur in your RDS instance. All right. Then you have recommendations that are being given by AWS, gives you some recommendations, and you have a certificate. This one is for SSL and TLS connections. Okay. Yeah. So the last phase I was supposed to show you, I wanted to show you the number of database engines that are being supported by Amazon RDS, right? So Amazon RDS gives you access to numerous database engines. Right? So you see, I will start by the Aurora MySQL. You see, there's Aurora MySQL compatible, there's Aurora Postgres compatible. As I told you, Aurora is a proprietary database. These two proprietary database owned by Amazon Web Services. Okay, these are like uh, highly performant databases that AWS has customized and built for for users to be able to have high performance and high availability. Okay, then you also have the normal MySQL RDS, you have the Postgres, you have the MariaDB, you have the Oracle, you have the MySQL, and the IBM DB2. Okay, so these are the database engines that AWS RDS actually supports. So if you want to use SQL Server, that's fine. MariaDB, that's fine. MySQL, that's fine. Okay, so yeah guys, so in my next video I'll be showing you guys how you can create a database. I'll show you how you create a database and have access to it, like connect, authenticate to that database, and maybe perform one or two or more queries. Okay, and specifically, I'll be showing you how to create databases in the private subnets and how you can create databases in the public subnet. Okay, all right, so guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, you can always subscribe to my channel, and so much so that immediately I upload a video, you'll be notified, and that is my own way of contributing to the community. Guys, don't forget, if you have any question, if you have any, if you're a database administrator or cloud engineer whatsoever, and you have any question, please paste in the comment section. I will go through the comment section and maybe upload a video on that or reply to you directly. Okay, so okay guys, see you next time in my next video. Take care. Ciao. Bye bye.